One consistent tale that seemed to pop up often in the stories of the battle was the death and resurrection of Harry Potter. Some believe it just to be a myth. Even those who were there claim it may have been just a trick. Not much is known of this. Even when asked, Potter and his closest friends haven't divulged much. After the battle, they were hidden by the Ministry and made few appearances. These days, they live their lives working for the Ministry itself. Harry Potter and Ronald Weasley, both successful Aurors, and Hermione Jean Weasley, formerly Granger, now working as the head of the Department of Magical Law Enforcement. We had asked them to be interviewed, but they respectfully declined. Though we still had many people who were there, one of them had to know the truth. When did the war start for you?
A lot of people will tell you that the war officially started when the Ministry fell. But for me, it was when Dumbledore passed. Those of us who believed you-know-who was back knew that Dumbledore was our only true defense. Everything went to hell when he was gone.
When the war did start, what did you do?
I joined the Order straight away, but there was only so much we could do. Openly stating you were part of the Order was a death sentence. There was a gravity about the situation that was unlike anything we had ever experienced. I spent most of the war running, surviving. Harry Potter had gone missing, and most of us thought he had abandoned us. If it weren't Dumbledore who would save us, it would certainly be the boy who lived. But if there's any reason why we are all still here, it's because of Harry Potter.
We were able to get in touch with another friend of Harry Potter, Dean Thomas, a former Gryffindor. Like Harry, he was also on the run during his 7th year, being chased by Snatchers and at one point even caught before being saved by Potter and his friend.
When the Ministry fell, I was on the run. The first order of action was to purify all the so-called mudbloods. My mother was a muggle, and I never knew my father, so I had no way to prove my blood. So I ran. I met up with a handful of other Muggleborns and a couple of goblins, and we had eluded the Snatchers for months. But then Greyback caught up to us.
How is it he found you?
Sniffed us out, I suppose. Actually, I'm surprised we lasted as long as we did. The battle was violent and chaotic. There were too many of them and far too little of us.
What happened when it was all over?
Only 2 of us survived. Me and a goblin named Griphook. We were taken to the Malfoy Manor and thrown into the cellar. But then he came.
Who came?
Harry Potter. He was captured too, but we managed to escape.
With the assistance of a house elf, I've heard.
Yes. Dobby.
We've heard about Dobby, the brave house elf, though not much known about him.
Most people don't know anything about him. Actually, next to Harry, I owe him a great deal. He gave his life for us.
That actually reminds me of another question I wanted to ask. The night of the battle, it said Harry Potter came back from the dead after you-know-who killed him. Do you know if this is true?
What? I thought this was about the war, not Harry.
Well, he is a big part of the war.
This is just another puff piece.
No, of course not.
You know, it's people like you and Rita Skeeter that give your profession a bad name. You know the man's been through enough as it is. Okay, this is bollocks. We're finished here.
Please, Dean, Mr. Thomas. We weren't able to get him back, though I can understand what he meant, most likely referring to the well-known controversial author Rita Skeeter and her books that were released almost immediately following the war, two of which are top of the bestsellers list that following year. The biography on Harry Potter, 1/4 Truth, 3/4 Rubbish, and the expose Snape, Scoundrel or Saint. It was actually the second that caused the well-known incident at Flourish and Blotts, where Mrs. Hermione Weasley threw a hard copy of the book in Miss Skeeter's face during a book signing. Let's just say Mr. Thomas's remark was quite justified.